Hi, my name is Sierra Drew, and this is my 2019 climb of the Sierra High Route, a year that saw 230% snowpack. What is the Sierra High Route? It's 195 miles of cool, crisp, clean, clear mountain air, 115 miles of cross-country traversing, and 38 mountain passes. The High Route isn't for everyone, but if it's for you, I hope that you go out there and get it. Also, just so I know whether or not I'm supposed to keep making videos, please subscribe and hit the bell notification below. As of this video currently, I have no subscribers, so, well, I guess that's that. Join me as we tackle the high route together. Nothing gets the mosquitoes away quite like a campfire. On my way down, I had written these notes in there that said, in Roper's book, it says, as you're coming down the snow, it's really hot coming down this hill, and it's full of manzanita. So on my notes, I'd written hot manzanita. So every time it wound up getting hot on the entire trip, I would just kind of look at myself, and I'd put my hat on, and I say, whew, that's some hot manzanita. Now, I don't know if everybody does that kind of stuff when they're by themselves in the middle of a forest, but I do. Well, this is the extremely rare Mariposa lily. Super pretty and very, very rare. First ones of the whole trip. Climbing up out of second recess here, you can see my lovely trail. Over 1,000 feet of, I don't know, whatever that is. Not making bad time though. Took me about an hour and 10 minutes to go up over 1,000 feet. So I think I just have a little bit more of this right here, and then I'll be able to get up into that bench below that ridge right there. So, second recess. Hot. Very hot. Yeah. Lost my water bottle somewhere along the way, so looks like I'll be drinking out of my cup for the next week. Also lost my big rib-brimmed hat, so looks like I'll be back down to old trusty Rusty. All kinds of weird stuff to make myself laugh. It was pretty hot manzanita. I saw the rare Mariposa lily as well, and I will say this. It was the only time in the entire trip that I saw the Mariposa lily. I stopped and took a picture of it, and I believe that this is it. And I was pretty happy that I did. Coming down here, I lost my new hat that I had just bought, which was kind of a bummer because I liked it. And I wasn't going to use old trusty Rusty for the rest of the trip. I kind of put it away because it was too hot, and the sweatband doesn't really work, and the thing doesn't really work, but it's... Anyways, I wasn't going to use Trusty Rusty, which is the name of this hat, but wound up having to use it because I dropped the other one because it was too light and I didn't notice it, and it just kind of went away. I lost my water bottle coming down second recess, so that was the end of my water bottles. So I wound up doing the rest of the trip with my trusty cup Samwise. And now you know how gear gets names. This hat was named on top of Mount Russell when I climbed it. So that's why it's Trusty Rusty, made it through the JMT, and this is Samwise because I wound up using it not only as a cup but also as my water bottle for most of the trip. This wound up being one of the hallmarks of my high route experience. Coming up out of second recess and having this kind of, you wonder how you're going to get out of it. It's so big. It's like climbing out of the Grand Canyon. And you're climbing up to Gabbett Pass. And Gabbett Pass, from the other side, Gabbett Pass, from the Lake Italy side, Gabbett Pass is nothing. It's just this little itty-bitty thing. But coming to Gabbett Pass from the second recess side, it is, I'm not going to lie, it's horrifically big. And you just climb up and up and up. And it is just, it's just more hot manzanita than you can even think about. And it's hot, and there's nothing, and then all of a sudden you get to, there's Gabbett Pass. But if you're ever wondering what the high route is really all about, it's about ridge lines that go like that. It's about the trees. It's about the gorgeous lakes. It's about the endless waterfalls. It's about the meadows, the wildflowers. The silence. The high route is the quietest place on earth. Earlier today I felt lonely, especially when I was thinking about having like 7 days or 8 days or whatever left to go. Somehow the loneliness turned to silence today. I'll probably get lonely later on again, but for now it's nice. Anyway, my path is gonna take me up this, up that, right up there, to Gabbett Pass, in between Mount Gab and Mount Abbott. There's Gabbett. Some real creative naming. Not gonna lie, I was impressed. It was right here when I realized that this is what High Route was all about. And somewhere along the way here, the difference between loneliness and solitude kicked in, and I realized that I was doing it. I was really doing this thing, and I was doing it whether it's snow or ice or rock or whatever. I didn't care. I was doing it. I was gonna do this thing. Gabbett was a ton of work to get up and over, and once I did, I knew that I wanted to get down. Coming down Gabbett Pass, though, I saw these tracks. Nobody's been able to tell me what it was, but it's a big, giant cat track. I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting, personally. And, yeah, coming down to Lake Italy, I was feeling it. My feet were wet. I had been going, just climbing down the Hot Manzanita and then climbing all the way up Second Recess and Gabbett Pass and then having to circumnavigate Lake Italy. It's not a hard day, like sketch-wise or anything, but it's a long day. Lake Italy, Southern Terminus, chapter something, Lake Country. 3 chapters down, 2 to go. Lake Italy. 8 o'clock. The Second Recess in Gabbett. Coming down from Bighorn Pass to here took 11 hours. Holy cow. Physically, it's a demanding day because it's very up and very down. Got to Lake Italy and just, I tell you what, I was so relieved to have accomplished the 3rd chapter of the High Route, and I knew that I had 2 chapters left. I knew I had White Bark Country and Cirque Country to go. The next day, kind of getting up out of Lake Italy, I saw a couple of guys who were camped out at the base of the Bear Lakes. It's the, not a pass, but getting up into the Ursa Lakes. Also, saw my very first folks. They were doing a section of the High Route. They're doing Paiute Pass to Mammoth, so 1.5 of the legs. So, looking forward to seeing how this whole thing goes. It looks pretty nasty, but they said it wasn't too bad. I guess we'll see. They had just made it down what I think should be considered a pass, but I understand if it's not a pass. I would call it White Bear Pass, something like that maybe. And these guys, they were fun. They'd come in through Paiute Canyon, French Canyon, and they were doing a section and a half of the High Route. So they did Feather Pass and the Bear Lakes. They were doing Lake Italy up to Mammoth. So it was cool to see a couple of other guys doing the High Route. I talked to them very briefly and made my way up kind of this, it looked like an impenetrable wall, but as I got closer to it, it was fairly, you could navigate it. I got lost up in the Bear Lakes. Coming up on top of Feather Pass. Yikes, should have checked my GPS. I climbed literally the wrong pass. So I have to descend 500 feet and go 1.5 miles around. That sucked right there. So, all right, hate it for me. Didn't check my GPS at all and wound up climbing the wrong pass. It was my son's birthday that day, and so my son Ace. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ace. Happy birthday to you. Mwah. Love you, buddy. Came down, had to renegotiate all the way through all the Bear Lakes and Feather Pass, man. What a lot of work that was. That was a ton of work. The route looking up to Feather Pass, as you can see, it has been sun cups as far as you can see. I've been trying to walk on the rocks as much as possible, but man, wish I wouldn't have had that 2-hour detour. Yay. Not my fault. Anyway. You know, the hardest part about the sun cup thing is mostly that you kind of have to think so hard about every single step that you're going to take, so it kind of drains your mental willpower a lot. But it's clear from this experience that the Desolation Canyon, or Desolation Basin, I guess, Humphreys Basin, it's going to be real similar to this. So, you know, these days where you're in the high country for pretty much the whole day on the map, if you add snow in there, I mean, it's a whole thing. My morale is probably a solid 65% from where it could be. I'm a little bummed about having to redo this altitude, but yeah, pretty tired. It's 2 o'clock. It means I would have been up there by noon. Now I'm gonna be lucky if I'm up there by 3:30. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There's Feather Pass for you then. All day. And when I got up to the top of there, I was pretty stoked. I had one major push that I wanted. I really wanted to get up to Lake Elba to set myself up the next day, but I knew it was going to be just a ton of work, and so I just boogied. Oh yeah, here we are at the top of Feather Pass. I think that might be my canyon that I'm looking for. Anywho, so I just came up. Man, a lot of snow up in the 12,000 foot range. Still, it is not abetted very much. But it's a lot better on this other side here, as you can see. Doesn't look so bad. Whew. Man, I tell you what. I am 2 hours behind schedule, but I think that'll be okay. This traveling through here looks bad, but doesn't look terrible. So, got my little trusty microspecs in me anyway. All right, Feather Pass. Yeah, how are we doing here? All right. Yeah, this is high route for you. Snow, rivers, and a whole lot of this. This is called glissading. I hope I'm not making any of you sick. The only good thing about the snow, honestly, is that you can do it. It's not absolute murder on your knees either. But I don't think it makes up for the the pain that it causes either. So anyways, there's some more high route shenanigans there for you. I just boogied down Feather Pass, glissaded, I ran, I did everything I could to try to get out of the sun cups, because it was sun cups as far as that whole day I spent in the snow and in the sun cups the entire day. I come down this big giant steep canyon down to French Meadow, French Canyon, Paiute Canyon. It's like they like kind of combine themselves. I'm not really sure exactly how it works. But man, outside of the mosquitoes, that place was gorgeous. You'd think after over 100 miles of walking that you'd be tired of seeing meadows and things like that. It never gets old. It was just absolutely stunning. The big giant waterfall just pouring right out of the Royce Lakes was completely out of control. And there I was right at the end. I got this 1,000-foot uphill push to get to Lake Elba. Classic high route end of the day stuff here. I have to cross this river and climb up that ridge right up there. It's like it always makes you end the day with wet feet, no matter what you do. Oh, there is a really pretty waterfall right behind me there, coming down from Royce Lakes. Anyways, hoping to make camp at Elba tonight. Maybe see if Napoleon is there. Yep. Anyway, I guess this is the end of my dry feet. And what do I have to do? I have to cross another river. Now, I don't cross rivers barefoot because it's dangerous. But the problem is I have Gore-Tex boots, so when my feet get wet, it takes a long time for them to get back to normal again. So I got up to Lake Elba for the night. Made it to my campsite, Lake Elba. Really spectacular. Really wish I hadn't gotten lost for those 2 hours today. You know, I would have been able to make Puppet Pass. But I mean, it happens. Shouldn't happen. I have GPS now. Yeah, Lake Elba. Real pretty, real nice, real quiet. Nobody else here. Just me and the trout jumping over there. Probably some really good fishing up here. Anyway, tomorrow we got going up to Snow Tongue Pass tomorrow. If all goes right. Hopefully we'll be on the John Muir Trail tomorrow night. Unbelievable. Hardest thing I've ever done.